What's up, guys? I'm gonna try to make my videos all in nature, because that's a huge part of what saved me, was realizing the beauty of nature. This might sound like some hippie bullshit, but fuck you. I lived in the city, either LA or Chicago. I've lived in Chicago for like 7 years. I know cities have like a lot of great things. They've got a lot of people and culture and art and all kinds of like fun things to do, but there's a dark side about the city. There really is. Like, I don't know. Anyway, just get back to nature any chance you can get, and whether it's just like a placebo or something, I don't know, man, but I feel really good when I'm chilling in nature and I just stop and think. So just some advice. In this video, I want to talk about Suboxone, because it's a super controversial thing, I guess. Lots of people think it's like methadone, and Dr. Drew, I think, even said like he says it's not good for you, like it's just like methadone, which is absolutely not true. Not true at all. Just look at someone that's in a methadone program compared to someone that's been on Suboxone for like 6 months, and it's a big difference. Methadone, I think, to an extent, still gets you high. When you go use it, a lot of people I knew that were in methadone programs actually were like just mixing dope with it or mixing benzos with it. So they're still getting high, and that's the issue here. And what Suboxone can do for you is get you used to not being high. You get used to just existing in life and not needing that extra bit to get you through. That's an important part of really conquering this beast. It's because if you don't learn how to not be high, I mean, you'll never get clean. And if you're one of those people that gets off for 3 months, uses again, and you're like still trying to decide, oh, should I try Suboxone? I would say it's obvious. If you've been through more than 3 relapses, like, it's obvious that your willpower alone is not going to be enough for this. And I hate that kind of thinking, because I think our willpower can get us through anything, but you also got to face the circumstance that you are in when you're in it. So I think after about round 3, it's at least time to start think about getting on Suboxone. And I know maybe I've kind of talked shit about Suboxone, because eventually you gotta let go of it. I think. Maybe you don't. But for me, I know I was still depressed when I was on subs. I know I just was like backed up in my stomach. Like, maybe that was just from years of Vicodin abuse, or like shooting heroin in my arm that I messed up my liver or something, and I'm blaming it on that. But eventually, when I got off subs and my natural like chemicals started flowing back in, I started like appreciating nature. And I remember like on some like behind the music, like after like Elton John's like huge drug binge, I don't know why I thought about this, but he said that he started appreciating like the trees again, and I remember thinking, what is he talking about? And I see what he's talking about now, and I'm sure other people have said that too. But I'm just saying, man, do what you gotta do. Like, don't beat yourself up over a decision to get on Suboxone because, whoever told you, just, I'm not trying to be a Suboxone salesman, but shit, it just like seems to have helped everyone that I've seen that gets on it and uses it right. I'm not talking about the thing where, you use it every time you run out of money, so your withdrawal's not as bad when you don't have money for dope. That's not what I'm talking about. Where you use it as a program to learn to not be high. That's the whole thing, Yeah, if you gotta go to like classes, those free NA classes during that time, if that helps you go, do whatever you can during that time that you are, switching over to them, and get the most out of it. because it kind of is a free ticket if you think about it. Like, I think last time I switched over, like, you know, it was really just 24 hours, maybe 36 hours at the most of the normal hell. Then I took a sub, and then 20 minutes later, it was just kind of like little bit hell. And, you know, it's not nearly as bad as withdrawing on its, you know, just cold turkey. It's not that bad if you have subs. It really isn't. And I know some people say they don't work, but I personally think they do if you use them right. You know, you can't blame things for when really, you know, it's you that's not using them correctly, or it's you that is mixing them with benzos or doing whatever you're doing, drinking on them. Like, you really got to get used to being sober for a while. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that, you know, if you got addicted to opiates, you can never say, like, have a drink again or, like, smoke a joint or something again. I'm not the biggest fan of that. But a lot of you people and me, myself, in the past have, like, proved it true. With, like, all the relapses, like, the moment you guys seem to start smoking or drinking again or, like, popping benzos again, you usually go back to dope. I'm noticing it from all the emails I get from you guys. That seems to be a theme. And I know that was kind of a theme for me at one point, that I was just using, you know, excuses, basically. I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of rambling here, but I really think subs can help. They're not as bad as I've heard people say, and I don't think they're as good as some people would say either. I think eventually you just got to get this whole fucking thing over with and out of your life and move on. Like, stop dwelling in it. That's one of my, you know, reasons I don't go to AA meetings and NA meetings, is because I just hear people, like, rehashing the same old thing over and over again and reliving the same experiences, war stories, like, all that thing, that just kind of, like, keep your mind in that inner space of being an addict. I don't know. It just doesn't really fit with me. So, anyways, guys, thanks for listening to my ramble.